can everybody hear me again?
Yep.
There. Sorry, Michelle.
Okay, everybody's just gonna, when I mute everybody, I try to unmute Joe, he doesn't unmute. So I'm gonna try you guys individually really quick. Right, I just muted Joe.
Just mute ourselves.
Okay, I just unmuted Michelle.
I just unmuted.
Okay, it's 5:30.
Yes, we just go with it.
Okay.
Everybody mute except Joe.
Right.
I guess I am. I don't even know.
Okay. Well, we're going to do the pledge. I'm standing already. Can't you tell? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. A roll call, Michelle.
Joe,
Yes.
Cindy,
Here.
Pam, Jeremy,
Here.
Sue,
Here.
Carrie,
Here.
Nancy.
Here.
I've got
Yeah.
Pam getting, I'm admitting Pam in right now, so just give me 1 second. We'll roll call her back in. She's connecting to audio.
While she's doing that, Cindy, did you ever get my text?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Pam is there.
Hi, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Michelle.
All right. Where are you at? I just connected in. This is the treasurer's report now.
We were in the roll call.
Pam, I'm here.
Okay. Truth and taxation.
I'd like to make a motion to open the Truth and Taxation meeting at 5:32 p.m.
Support.
We have motion and support in opening the Truth and Taxation meeting. Do I need a roll call, Michelle? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. From now on, I'll just say opposed, say no. Okay, Cindy.
Okay.
Do you want me to read this in?
Yep, go ahead.
All right. Truth and taxation hearing on August 10th, 2020. 2019 millage. Our township operating was 2.04. Fire is 1.0. Police 1.0 for a total millage of 4.04. The proposed 2020 millage rates is township operating 2.04, fire 1.0, police 1.0, for proposed millage 4.04, which is exactly what 2019 was. If adopted, the proposed additional millage will increase operating revenues from ad valorem property taxes 2.01 over such revenues generated by levies permitted without holding a hearing. If the proposed additional millage rate is not approved, the operating revenue will increase by 0.17% over the preceding year's operating revenues. I move we adopt the truth and taxation hearing.
And that was a negative, Pam, increased by a negative 0.17%.
I apologize, it is negative.
So no motion not necessary to adopt. We're just looking for public comment at this time.
Yep.
And no one called in for public comment.
So since there is no public comment, I'll make a motion to close the Truth and Taxation hearing at 5:34 p.m.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion on that? Hearing none. Anybody not in favor, say no. Okay, let's go to the minutes for July 13th, 2020 regular meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from Monday, July 13th, 2020 with any changes or corrections.
Support.
We have a motion to support. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none. Anybody in disfavor, say no. Excuse me. And we have a special meeting on July 23rd, 2020.
like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the special board meeting Monday, July 23rd, 2020, with any changes or corrections.
Support.
Okay, treasurer, we'll go to the bills.
Okay,
You got
Did
to
I
roll
miss
call that,
something?
Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? Duh. Roll call, please. Thank you, Michelle. I had bad notes.
Just all in favor.
Okay, anybody in disfavor of that? Say no. Yeah, sorry, I got ahead of myself. Thanks for catching that. Bills, please.
okay, in your packet is a revenue and expenditure report. I'm sorry, are the bills, and I do not have them directly in front of me because I just changed rooms 3 times to get internet. But I do propose that we pay the bills.
I'll make a motion, in the amount of $37,006.59.
Thank
Support.
you, Jeremy. I support it.
Okay, we have a motion to support on the bills. Any discussion on the bills? Hearing none, I do need a roll call on that, please.
Joe,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Pam,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes,
Sue,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, building report. You've had a chance to look it over. I think you'll find it interesting. What did I miss again?
Treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report.
Oh, good. You're keeping track. I'm just keeping you on your toes.
Yeah. Okay, the treasurer's report is also in your packet, and for June 30th, the bottom line is $7,162,346.49, which is less roughly $118,000 less than we had last month. Accumulation of all those funds, and the revenue and expenditure report is also attached.
Why is it June 30th, not July?
Because we don't have all of the reports from all the banks in yet for the July stuff. They're just rolling in
Okay,
now.
all right, thank you.
Is it safe to go to the builder's report? Okay. If you notice in the building report, there's one that sticks out. It's the pump station. And that's the new pump station that's going on Perrin Road, where they had to take out permits at a pretty good price. That work is going to continue through November of 2021. And it's just one of those interesting things in the building report. It's a large amount they paid. And it just shows you the county has to pay the municipality they're working on. Any questions on the building report? Okay, the senior center report is next. And if you'll notice in the seniors report that Patty will be coming back to work on the 17th, which is a week from today. They've been serving lunches, they've been passing out commodities, and kind of interesting, they got fruits and vegetables that were left over from Our Lady of Guadalupe. So having the contacts we have is beneficial to our residents. It's one of those nice things. Okay. My thing is blurry here, so it looks like what's next?
Fire authority report?
Fire authority. Thank you. I wrote
Yep.
this down and it's really bad. So Carrie, fire authority.
Yes, we have a meeting tomorrow afternoon. And the only thing I have to let you know is we did have training yesterday. Guys did hose string testing and training. So that's it.
Okay. Next is the police special committee report. Pam, can you hear us?
I can, yes. And I have this, it's a verbal report, obviously. First, I want to thank Chief Paulson and Jeremy for working with me on this committee. Our contract with the Sheriff's Department expires at the end of the year, and we currently have a very good relationship with Sergeant Murphy and the deputies assigned to Vienna Township, and I want to thank them for their service. We do, however, recognize that although we are not dissatisfied with our current arrangements, we do have a fiduciary responsibility to examine options so that we provide the safety our residents and visitors in our township need and do it in a fiscally responsible way. In our committee meetings, we discussed the return on investment. We had conversations with different law enforcement officials, including Clio and Montrose and the Sheriff's Department. Due to the fiscal budget unknowns all of us are facing, we concluded that having a conversation about creating or joining other municipalities would be welcome in the future. But once our budgets are stabilized, it would be a better time to have those conversations because the upfront costs right now are just prohibitive. It's not to say that our contract with the county sheriff's department can't be made better so that it meets our needs for our future. And I did meet with the sheriff, the undersheriff, and Major Stam just to go over our current contract so that we had an opportunity to questions. That went very well. I'm sure Joe will be able to negotiate a contract to meet our needs with the county sheriff's deputies. That is the recommendation of our committee. I want to thank Joe for assigning Jeremy, Carrie, and myself to this committee. And it does conclude our report unless other members have something to add. Carrie, Chief, anybody, Jeremy?
I'm happy.
Good.
Thought Jeremy was frozen there for a minute. You broke up a little bit in there, and I noticed a couple of us missed a couple things. Does anybody have any questions on what was missed?
Yeah, what did she say? Because I lost the last minute of it, or 30 seconds.
Pam, you were just getting ready to say you met with the sheriff and the undersheriff.
Okay, I met with the sheriff, the undersheriff, and Major Stam today, just to go over the current contract that we had, not to negotiate, but just to have the ability to ask questions and get answers back and forth. And that was a very good meeting. And from there, I went on to say that I'm sure Joe is going to be able to negotiate a contract that's going to meet our needs. And that is the recommendation of our committee, is to continue with what we are and make sure we're looking at the contracts and going forward with a good contract to meet our needs. Thanks, Joe, for assigning all of us. And I ended up with Jeremy or Carrie. If you guys got something to add, throw it in.
And I think they both said no. Does anybody have any questions at all for Pam or Jeremy or Carrie? If not, thanks for the hard work. Next, we have a BDA report. And for those of you that are not aware, we have a job posting on our website right now, and it's also on MTA and MML. Michelle, is it MML, or did I say it right, or is it MLL? MML.
MML.
And so we're currently looking, the qualifications that we're looking for are listed on our website. Other than that, we have a BDA meeting Wednesday, and hopefully we'll have some more news. And then now is the supervisor's report, and it's quite a lengthy one, so I'll go about it. The Genesee County Road Commission paved Hurd Road. Hurd Road had a cross culvert that needed to be put in, and the County Road Commission was aware of it for approximately 9 months. We tried to halt the work because the last time they did something like this, for people that haven't been down Jennings Road and seen the results of that, we were very dissatisfied. I contacted Eric Johnston, who's the engineer in charge of the project for Hurd Road, and let him know that if they went ahead with it, we were going to withhold payment. And we withheld payment for 2 months. Our deputy treasurer accountant, Sherry, came to me and let me know the ramifications of holding payment because we're accumulating 1.5 a penalty every month, and that's not fair to the constituents, but we were concerned. So we wrote a letter to the road commission letting them know that if it's not done to our satisfaction, that we'll be taking this up with the road commissioner and our board directly. So that's one of them. The deputy treasurer, the accountant, is in the preliminary stages of the budget. We're dealing with unknowns at this point. I think everybody's aware that there could be a reduction in what we receive from 12 to 28%. The total loss could be approximately $300,000 in our budget. The thing working in our favor this year, as you're all well aware of, is that the fire hall is paid off, and that payment was $293,000 annually. So we have somewhat of an offset there. And lastly, we're getting many calls on ditching. And I know everybody on this board's aware of it. And I'm hoping that as we go forward, some of the constituents might look at the Zoom meeting for tonight and let them know that the ditching is extremely expensive. I know that a lot of you have been involved with the township business in the past. We have many, many areas that need to be attended to for ditching. And right now, when we do meet, we meet with Alex Cook because he's the primary source that we have in examining the roads, because he knows exactly the spots that create the problem for the roads. As we're well aware of, the ditching is there to prevent water from cascading across the road and freezing. It's there for drainage purposes, and also attracts the sump pump attention a lot. But in the meantime, the main reason is to drain the roads. If the water sits in there, our code enforcer has a very difficult time contacting anyone, letting them know that their ditch needs to be cut when they can't really get a lawnmower or a weed whacker in there. So we're trying to work around some of these problems. But when people do have a problem, anybody listening to this that's a constituent, the number is 767-4920. That's the road commission. If you contact us, it does not show as a problem at the road commission, and therefore we don't stack up points in favor of the municipality to get certain roads done when there's excess funds, if that term is loosely used. So also the next thing is, there in your correspondence, you'll see something from Damian Ketchmark. He's an Eagle Scout that lives in the Fenton area. I responded to his letter, letting him know that we're very proud of the fact he's an Eagle Scout, but he doesn't live in the area and the work wasn't accomplished in the area. Also, we have a job posting for the code enforcer. Jim has several jobs that he was working on. This was the point of least resistance. So he gave us his notice. Thursday's his last day. He will be missed. I'd like to point out that the fire authority through the chief had an exercise Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Pine Run Cemetery, where the flag pole needed attention. The rope had broken, the flag was frayed, needed to be replaced. They came out and had a little effort, one of their projects. They put the bucket up, restrung the rope, put the flag up for us, and the supervisor got to ride up in the bucket as long as he chained himself in and wore full gear. And he came out safe, where some of us are happy and some aren't. The last thing on this report for the supervisor is that after the meeting that Pam had with the undersheriff, sheriff, and David Stam, the major, we got a program ready again that we had 2 years ago, where the bikes that had been either stolen, misplaced, put in our custody, and sat here for 2 years. The last time this happened, they donated all the bikes to Burston Fieldhouse for their project there. We're in the process of doing that again. Burston has a project there that's called Rent-A-Bike, and the Rent-A-Bike that they utilize is, there's very little charge at all. The bike has to be returned. It had 100% satisfaction in that area, and any bikes that needed work, it's engaged some of the youth in the area in fixing those bikes. So they have a good amount of pride involved. So that project's going on again. That concludes my long supervisor's report. Does anybody have any questions? Hearing none. Michelle, any additions to the agenda?
There are none.
Correspondence?
There are two pieces of correspondence. The first is from the State of Michigan Public Service Commission regarding a public hearing. And the second is the one you mentioned in your supervisor's report from Eagle Scout Damian Ketchmark, Troop 212.
Okay. Thank you. This time we reserve for public comment. We have no public comment at this time, correct, Michelle?
That's correct.
Okay, under new business, we have 08-10-20-00 tax millage.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 08-10-20-10 or 20, I'm sorry. No, 10, the proposed tax millage for the 2020 budget year.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion on tax millage? Hearing none, I need a roll call, please.
Cindy,
Yes.
Pam,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, we also have this time reserved for public comment. There is none. So we'll go to board comment, and with tradition, I'll go from my left to my right. Carrie,
Even though Damien wasn't from our area, I just want to say congratulations to him. That's quite an accomplishment, Eagle Scout at age
Yeah.
13. So
yes, it is.
that's all I've got.
Thank you. Nancy,
Nope. All set.
Pam,
Yeah, I do actually. Hopefully you can all hear me. I've been a little bit concerned because of COVID and unemployment and underemployment right now about tax collections, which are due the middle of September. And Sherry and I discussed it, and she ran a report. And as of the end of July, we are actually a little bit ahead in collections of what we have been over the last 2 years. In 2018, at this point, we had collected 11.9%. In 2019, we had collected 13.2% and added 24 more parcels. And in 2020, we've added 23 more parcels, and we are at 13.9% collected. So while we do know it is mortgage companies and seniors that pay a little bit earlier and it comes in, we still are ahead of the ballpark here on this, and it made me feel a little bit better going into the budget year that we're going into and the adjustments we'll probably have to make. So that's all I wanted to say during my comment period.
okay. Jeremy,
Nothing. Thank you.
Sue,
No comment.
Cindy,
Yeah, I just got a couple of things I want to talk about. The election last Tuesday. I was pleased to say that the 900 people that walked into the senior center to vote in person, the majority of them wore masks. Shelley and I, as I'd mentioned before, did a tremendous amount of work in making sure that our election inspectors and the public had as much personal protective equipment as possible. But everybody seemed to be fairly orderly and respectful of keeping distance and like I say, wearing the masks. We also saw, like the entire state, quite an increase in participation for a primary. 2018, I think, or 16, I can't remember which, probably both about the same. We had a 22% turnout. And this primary, we had like 32%. So we had close to 2,500 absentee voter ballots come in, and close to 1,000 people came in to vote in person. So there's no reason absentee voting is working. Shelley and I have maybe 2 weeks of actual breathing time, and we'll be starting on the November election. And as of right now, with the dual applications that were sent out for absentee voters and our permanent voters, we're already looking at a potential of 4,000 ballots going out for November. So it's going to be one last huge election. But if it goes off like it did in August, we should do okay. But it was good to see the big turnout for August for a primary. So I just want to thank all of my election inspectors, especially Shelley, because it takes a village to run an election. So they all did great. That's it.
Michelle, do you have anything to add before I close?
No.
Okay, I'm also proud of the fact that the clerk and deputy clerk, Cindy and Michelle, worked so hard on this election. They continue to be a model in the townships. Other townships try and model themselves after us. And I know that you get quite a few calls when people call in and ask what they should do in certain situations. So with that, I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Next meeting will be in September. I forget the date, but probably about the 9th, maybe.
It's going to be
September 14th.
Sounds like the ninth.
That falls on
Yep.
President's Day.
It'll be the 15th.
Okay,
15th.
somewhere in September.
Hang on a second. Isn't the 8th is the second? It's
7th is a
because it's
Monday.
Yeah.
It's Labor
gotcha.
Day, yeah. Okay, thank you and good evening.
Good evening.
Take care, guys.
Yep, you too.